Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and this is one of the friendliest snakes you can find out here. This is a corn snake. Here's the snake. The corn. Hello, buddy. What are you doing out? Have a look at this. This is a corn snake. I actually thought that was a rat snake at first, or a gray rat, but this is actually a corn snake. Man, I do not find these a lot. This is actually a pretty uncommon snake to find out here. Now, another name for this species is the red rat snake. Now, it is technically a rat snake, but it looks a little bit different than other rat snake species. It's got a smaller head, and it's actually got a little arrow shape right on top of its head, so that's a good way to be able to tell the difference. Have a look at this. It's got a little checkered belly, black and white checkered belly, and really pretty snake, iridescent scales. One of the reasons that these guys are also called a red rat snake is because they mostly eat rats and mice. This species mostly feeds on rodents as they get older. When they're young, they'll actually eat little lizards like fence lizards and anoles, but as they grow into an adult, they mostly will only eat little rodents and stuff. Now, right now, it's actually really sunny, so this snake would be sunning right now, and then later on today, it would be out hunting. You'll often find these guys around barns and even old rundown areas where there's going to be lots of rats and mice. Now, they don't get as big as other rat snake species, and they do have a distinctly different build than other rat snakes. However, they still technically are a rat snake species, and this is actually one of the most commonly bred species that you'll actually see of rat snakes, and they're a very popular pet. Now, these snakes have an awesome disposition, and what that means is they're super friendly. This snake would rarely ever bite, if ever. This is a 100% wild corn snake, and it hasn't tried to bite me at all. It hasn't musked on me. And as you can see, it's a very relaxed and calm snake. And while you do find a couple of them that are a little bit grumpy, for the most part, this is how they are. Very relaxed, very easy to handle, and that's why they're actually a very good snake to keep as a pet. This has become one of the most popular pets for people to breed and keep in captivity, and they're a really good educational animal too. I actually have a couple, and I've actually bred these snakes before, and they're a really awesome animal. Now, another thing about this snake is look at the head. They have a different pattern on top of their head. It's almost like a little arrowhead pattern, and it's a really distinct little look, but it's something that really only corn snakes have. And if you can recognize that, even if it's a little bit of a different looking corn snake or even a bit smaller, then you'll still be able to recognize it from other rat snakes. Look at how healthy he is. Fat. This is a really good looking snake. It'd have to be a few years old. It's not full grown. They'll get about 4 times the size. In fact, they can be about 5.5 feet on average when full grown. And this is a good area for this snake too, so there's no reason to remove it from here. Now, these snakes, while they are super friendly, sometimes will act just like a rat snake, and what they'll do is when they're really upset, really being defensive, they'll cock their head back and kind of have a perfect S-shaped position on their head, and sometimes they'll even sit there with their mouth open, and they'll just lunge straight forward and strike. Now, this species doesn't oftentimes do that, but every once in a while you'll find one that's pretty grumpy and will actually try to bite you. But this one is actually perfectly friendly. None of the ones that I've ever found have ever actually been super aggressive, and they've always been like this. It's almost like they're like been handled before. It's almost like they're just very used to people. Not scared of me whatsoever, and just an awesome snake. Look at this little guy. Probably about 3.5 feet long, and they've just got a beautiful coloration. There's lots of different color morphs and variations of this snake species, and in South Florida you'll actually get some brighter colored ones. This one actually has a very dark coloration. If you look at the back of its body, it has a very dark coloration compared to some that I've actually seen in the past. Now, they'll spend a lot of time climbing actually. They'll climb up into birds' nests and areas like that to find food. They're very good climbers, and their belly scales actually help them grip onto trees. Their belly scales kind of wrap around whatever they're climbing, so if they're climbing up a tree, they can actually scale straight up a tree. Now, of course, this is a non-venomous snake species, and a snake that this is oftentimes misidentified for is actually a copperhead. Now, of course, this snake looks nothing like a copperhead, but people see this, they see a little orange upland snake, and oftentimes they will kill it because of that. And these snakes also get hit on the roads quite often. Now, this snake doesn't actually have a lot of predators. Some bird species will eat them, as well as king snakes and a few other snake species, but for the most part, they don't have that many natural predators. This is a very, very cool snake species, and one that's becoming increasingly more uncommon in this part of the country. Now, this is a common species overall, and they're not in need of any kind of conservation assistance, but in this area, I don't find that many. And it's one that I've only found a few times in my life, so it's really cool to see these snakes out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you did enjoy, definitely leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let this little guy go. Here you go, buddy. Back in your little sunny patch. Come on. Come on, get. Go, go, go.